Hello everyone, it's Sick Boy here. Yeah, I'm ill while I'm recording this. And to make matters just that much better, we are listening to the new AJR album. What's it called? The Maybe Man. We are listening to The Maybe Man. This is a very, very interesting release for AJR because if I get it up here, this album has a 61 user score on Album of the Year. Now I know what you might be thinking. That's not high. That's not a good album score. That's still in the yellow. But you have to understand that the highest AJR album in terms of user score is tied with OK Orchestra and Neo Theater at 32. This album has almost double their user scores, which is insane for an AJR release. Like Born and Bred, 8 out of 100 user score. Venture, 7 out of 100 user score. Living Room has an 18 out of 100. The Click, 26. Then Neo Theater and OK Orchestra have 32. But the Maybe Man has 61 user score. Maybe that's just bias because it's a recent release, and maybe if I, like look at it maybe tomorrow or a week later, it'll be down at like that 30 to 20 level the most of their other albums are. Or maybe this thing's actually going to be better than the rest of their releases. I haven't heard a full AJR album yet, but I have heard so many of their songs, and they have all sucked. They have all been terrible, except for one of the singles from this album that I heard, which was the Dumb Song, which I thought was okay. I think I gave it a 5.5 out of 10 when I first heard it, which is a miracle in terms of AJR standards, so maybe this thing will actually be good. Who knows? I'm just gonna get into it. Okay, The Maybe Man came out today as I'm recording this. It is 12 songs, 44 minutes. Okay, it's not the longest album on the planet. I'm just gonna get straight into this. Track 1, The Maybe Man. It be no big deal. Okay, already we have one of the stupidest lines I've ever heard. Wish I was a stone so I couldn't feel. Wow, hold on a sec. I'm gonna pull up the Genius annotations for this so I can actually, like, read the lyrics. They don't have the lyrics on Spotify yet. Wish I were my dog, out on the lawn. I'd be so glad. Is this not the exact melody from, I think, Week? I swear this vocal melody, they've used this exact vocal melody in one of their songs before. I think in Week. There's something that's just so eerily similar about this. And also, don't all of their albums start off with, like, an overture? Is this just like an overture for the rest of the album? And if so, how do I score that? Do I score it as a song, or what? I've never listened to a full AJR album before. This is new. First, like, big complaint about this is the fact that this just sounds like every single other AJR song. There's not really anything unique about this at all. It just feels like AJR doing their thing, and I don't like it when AJR does their thing, so we're already seeing some issues here. If I was cocaine or a bottle of Jack, I'd get invited to every frat. Man, that's a stupid ass line. Wish I was a song, your favorite one. Oh, Jesus Christ. No. This vocal pitching is terrible. You can tell how edited that is. Wow, that was bad. Dear God, we are not off to a strong start here. 62 at user. This is sort of like cookie cutter, copy and paste AJR lyrics, like, "Oh, I'm not, who I am isn't good enough. I wish I could be what the fans wanted me to be, man. I care so much about the fans." And it's just... I don't see why people think this is... I'm only one track in, obviously, but I don't see how people think this is twice as good as their older material, because I'm just sort of getting the same thing here that I got on their old... You know what? That outro was actually okay. I think that was a solid, decent, nice enough little outro. It wasn't great. I'm not blown away by it. But I'm not sat here like, wow, that was terrible. That was actually kind of a nice way to close the track. That song was a very, very weak open to this album. If the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, it is kind of in a way better than their older stuff in terms of like, I guess, production and like some of like the instrumental elements, and I think the outro was decent, but it's still not good. I'm still getting all of like the very cringe lines. The vocals are so up and down, and the instrumentals, while they are better, are still quite annoying. This first song, I don't hate it as much as I'm letting on. The more I think about it, I'll give the first track a 4. A solid 4. It's nowhere near as bad as some of the stuff on, like Ryan K said there, The Click and Neo Theater, or hell, even OK Orchestra. Bro, when I remember that the song Bang exists, or the song Weak, I'm like, yeah, I would much rather listen to this than those songs, you know? So, hey, not the worst start possible, but still not a great start. Next track, Touchy Feely Fool. I don't know what the hell that's meant to mean, but I guess we'll see in a sec. Okay, the track isn't playing. Why isn't the song hold on a sec. There we go. Hold on, this is literally, what's his name? Portugal the Man. This is a rip of that Portugal the Man song, right? Feel It Still or something. This sounds exactly like that with the bass and these claps. But I'll crawl back to you tomorrow. Why the hell can't I get mad? Another thing that's always annoyed me about AJR, and I will get onto a positive in a sec, so I do actually have a positive about this song, but one thing that's always annoyed me about AJR is the vocal layering. Like, they always have this exact same style of vocal layering, and it really annoys me. Like, it's very similar to like the way 21 Pilots layer their vocals, but worse. And it's always just annoyed me. And it's the same here. It's the same thing here. But I will say, while this is a ripoff of I think the song's called "Feel It Still" by Portugal the Man, it actually sounds okay. This intro is actually keeping me decently engaged, I guess, and the instrumental here is surprisingly decent. Song isn't off to that. Lyrics here seem to be about his obsession over someone. Like, I would give anything to not give a shit about you. Like, he's saying that he wants to get over this person, but he can't. Like, the unnecessary swearing, again, is really bugging me, but this is a decently, like, competent way of putting this across, you know? Surprisingly well put across for an AJR song. But this instrumental is abysmal. This is really, really starting to annoy me. Now I can't even talk to you. Now your lawyers talk to mine. What? Wait, what? Can't even talk to you, now your lawyers talk to mine. When going through a divorce? Oh, okay, he's talking about divorce. I legit thought this was in reference to like a restraining order. I don't know why my mind went straight to restraining order, but it's talking about a divorce. Okay, that makes more sense. I actually quite enjoyed that pre-chorus where he was talking about I'm better off a stick, I'm better off a stone, where it was like that build-up. That was a nice moment, I will say that. That pre-chorus was actually pretty decent. This It's gonna transition. Nope, it ends the exact same way the last track did, with a fake out transition. That song had some elements that surprised me with how good they were, and it had some elements that were just bad. I think the instrumental was very up and down. In the intro, I was like, okay, it's a ripoff of the Portugal the Man song, but it's okay. And then it started to get really, really annoying, but then it was pretty good in that, like, pre-chorus build-up bit that I thought was actually surprisingly nice. And then it became bad again. I think the vocals were fine, but then that auto-tune crap at the end made me want to gouge my eyes out. I think the lyrics here, they're fine. I think that, like, they're decently well put across, like, in terms of, like, the emotion and the themes of the track. But some of these lines in here are just too, like, edgy for the sake of being edgy type AJR lyrics. Like, I would give anything to not give a shit about you. Like, really? Really? I'm purely indifferent on that song. I would give it... I like it a little bit more than the last track, though. I give it a 4.5. Listen, I know I've given the last two songs beneath a 5 out of 10, but they are both way stronger than anything on any other AJR project. So, right, next track, Yes, I'm a Mess. This was one of the singles from the album. I haven't actually heard this. It's not playing again! At Rayman Legends level. I have heard this. Their songs are a mess, true. There it is, that rip-off melody. What's it from? I can't remember what that melody's from, but it's a rip-off of something. It's a rip-off of something. You know, the song was that bad that I completely forgot I'd heard. Thing I don't like about AJR is that they can't pick their demographic. They want to make songs like that's popular among kids, and they want to make stuff that's like really... It's like Disney core. They want to make Disney core, but then they try and make it really edgy, and they add like, oh, look at this, we're going to add swearing in here. Did you guys notice the swearing? They can't pick a demographic, and it's so tonally inconsistent that it's just corny and cringe and gross. It's just cringe. Can't stand the vocals. AJR, honestly, they have almost 10 million monthly listeners, and I do know people who are in the demographic of like AJR fans, and I get it. If you enjoy this, that's entirely fair. I just see this as really corny and cringe. This was the worst song on the album so far. I'd give this song like a 2.5 out of 10. Yeah, this song is like an example of like all of the stuff that didn't work about their previous efforts. The lyrics are so god awful, and it's just so surface level, cookie cutter, copy and paste, AJR topics and lines. Like the singing is so painful. The singing is so bad. Same with the vocal layering and this instrumental. They have multiple melody rip-offs in here, and the instrumental sounds like it's ripped straight out of a Rayman Legends level. The first thing I think about when I hear your professionally made song on an album, the first thing I think of shouldn't be Rayman Legends. I love that game, but that shouldn't be the first thing I think of when I hear your song. 2.5. This song sucks. Next track, a song that is actually decent, we have the dumb song. All vocal performance without a bunch of annoying, crappy effects slapped onto it here. Horns though. This actually sounds really nice. The vocal layering is actually better here. Same with the backing vocals. It actually works decently well in context here. It's like you have a really sweet and unique song in here that's different to like most of the stuff on the album. But then they're like, we have to remind him it's an AJR song. Here's the annoying horns and the over-the-top Disney in-your-face glitter vomit production. It's sort of like undermining the sweetness of this. Ending off with the piano is a bit much, but whatever. Very melodramatic ending, but hey. That's the best AJR song I've ever heard. Straight up. It's good. It is a good song. Now, there are, of course, elements of it that are just corny, annoying, tacky AJR-isms, like the horns and the piano and stuff like that. But there's also elements I really like. I think the writing here is surprisingly really solid. I like that the vocals are more subtle and they aren't riddled with terrible, really, like awful effects. And I think the instrumental here, for the most part, is pretty good. I would give this song a 6.5 out of 10. It's grown on me from a 5 to a 6.5. I think it's solid, you know? I'm very satisfied with that song. I wouldn't return to it, but you compare it to any other AJR song and it looks like a goddamn masterpiece. Next track we have is Inertia. Let me get the lyrics up here on Genius. Interesting pre-chorus there, but then this chorus just lost it entirely. Dear God, this is just this sucks. This just sucks. Also, making the 808s quieter doesn't change the fact that I noticed the 808s are there. Okay, and this sub bass is so annoying too. Take a look at these lyrics, see what Genius think these lyrics are about. You said you'd break up with her, but she met your family. Often in a relationship, people will present their partner to their family, imagining that they'll live happily ever after with them. Then, as time wears on, they may wish to break up with the partner, but, like in this case, they feel they could not, as their family has become too attached to them. Wow. What does the word inertia actually mean? I'm actually not sure what the word means. Inertia, a tendency to do nothing or remain unchanged, or a property of matter by which it continues in its existing state of rest or uniform motion. Okay. Okay, so basically, this person is living in a state of inertia, unable to leave this person because they've become like too attached and stuff like that. Okay, I guess, is that basically the running theme of this album? Is like his inability to move on from this person? Because I remember in like the opening song he was talking about like getting a divorce and stuff. I guess that's meant to be like the run. Move on, okay. Wow. He'll say I'm fucking hungry, but he says screw you. Like they add swearing in some lines, but then they restrain themselves and don't add swearing in other ones. You can tell it's just added in there for a moment of edginess. It's just them being like, whoa, look how mature we are, adding swearing in our songs. It's so annoying. It's legit annoying me so much. Start with the positives. I think the pre-chorus on that song was decent. Where he was talking about, don't you like it bigger, better, but do what you can. I think I like the melody on that bit. I think the vocals are decent. There's a goofy-ass line where he says, I was going to save the planet, but today I have plans. That line's silly as hell, but besides that, I think the pre-chorus is fine. Outside of that, this song is absolute ass. It is the most obnoxious instrumental. The lyrics are legitimately, like, at first I was like, oh, haha, funny lol, AJR lyrics are bad, but now it's just gotten to the point where it's annoying. And wow, this instrumental sucks. This is like AJR times Disney times AJR times Disney. This is too much for me to handle, man. It's too much. I'd give that song a 2 out of 10. That was my least favorite one so far. God, that was bad. That was just so bad. Next track, wait, this song is called Turning Out Pt.iii. Am I supposed to have heard the first 2 parts of this? Because I don't think I have. We'll figure it out.
Got it out of my system, didn't I? Did my 2 years on Tinder, didn't I?
Did my 2 years on Tinder? Really? Oh, thanks, Genius. Tinder is one of the largest dating apps in the world. You can either swipe left or swipe right. Wow, thank you, Genius. It's so helpful. You know what? One thing I will give this song is it's starting slow. It's not starting right in your face like, boom, here's like TikTok core, everything in your face. It's starting actually slow, and it's building, and I like that. Oh my god, is that an acoustic guitar? We got some acoustic instrumentation here. And I can't have sex and we both get quiet. Boy, what the hell is this vocoder? Tone down on the production on this? Yeah. And I like it. I'm not a big fan of the vocals here, but this instrumental is nice. I like that it's stripped back. I like that it's toned down. I like that they're not just punching me in the face for 3 minutes straight, you know? It's like, here's something calm, here's something quiet, here's some downtime. I like that. They're taking it more seriously, and as a result, it's making me want to take this more seriously, you know? No edgy swearing either. I don't think he's... Oh, well, on the pre-chorus there was. For the most part, the writing here is decent. That line is stupid as hell. That whole first bit of the verse is dumb. You know what? The vocoder isn't bugging me as much the second time around. It's not great, but it's not that bad. Okay. This is a decently sweet song. You know, I am actually, honestly, I'm not done with the song yet, but my score right now is looking like it's going to be around a 6. This is, again, just a solid, decent, okay track, you know? It's not punching me in the face. It's not shoving flashing lights at me. It's not, like, force-feeding me baby food. It's giving me something calm and subdued, and it's decently well written. It's fine. Oh, so I want to read this Genius annotation here. Jag in particular has suffered from OCD in the past, which naturally comes with a lot of overthinking. This is him telling himself not to overthink it, or he's going to lose his partner and he'll be back being by himself. He suggests that he should just sit back and let the time pass, and that he should be grateful that he has someone to go through life with, even if he has doubt about his satisfaction with the relationship. So instead it's better just to not overthink it. Wow. An actually mature look at something in an AJR song. A genuinely just like, He's not like playing it up too much. It's just a mature look at something that he's dealing with. Wow. Where has this been on the rest of the songs?
Let's do today. I think you'll turn out to like it.
You know what? That song was genuinely good. It was stripped back. It was honest. It was just a genuine emotional statement in the middle of this album. I know it's a part 3 of like some Turning Out series. I don't think I've heard the other 2 parts of this. I'm guessing it's probably the best in this series because this song is actually good. I don't love it. I'm not crazy on it, but genuinely I think this is even better than the Dumb song. I think this is just a genuinely good AJR track, and I would give this a 7. That's right, an AJR song gets a 7 out of 10. Wow. I never thought I'd see the day. Anyway, that is going to do it for part 1 of the Maybe Man. Stream, don't go anywhere. We're filming part 2 in just a sec. This album's meh. It's a middle of the road. It's not terrible. It's not good. It is just middle of the road, which is a miracle by AJR standards. Dear God. Some pretty decent cuts on here. Some pretty stinky generic AJR crap. Mixed bag, but it's better than the vast majority of their stuff, and it's showing genuine growth so far. Let me know what you think of the first half of this album down below in the comments section. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If we hit 1,000 subscribers by February, I will be going bald. And yeah, I will see you all in part 2. Goodbye.